Test, 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 test. Welcome back into Lines Live. We appreciate you guys hanging with us through some technical difficulties. 40-39, Union leads in a wonderful back and forth contest in the first half. Isaiah Breadwood, Ty Gibbs both leading the lines in scoring with 9 each. Regale Moore, Jerry Taylor Jr. both have 8 each. For the Union Commonwealth Bulldogs, Dallas Rufus with 13. Ali Sacco down low on the post with 11. That's going to round out our leading scorers. Hopefully this stream has no issues as we get back underway. I want to shout out our sponsors, BTC Fiber, Wright Brothers, Dayton Ford, and El Toro. We thank them for being the main sponsors of Lions Live. They make what we do here on the airways, bringing the Lions to your homes possible. And a good finish to start the half for the Bulldogs, 42-39. Lions going to try to answer back, and it felt like it was back and forth. It was a heavyweight fight, nonstop punch, counter punch action in the first half. Jerry Taylor Jr. out to Torres to Moten, 9 on the shot clock. Good ball work. Breadwood, can he take it? Drives, kicks to Torres. Good job, and a nice cut by Torres to find the space in the lane. Breadwood was able to lay it in or drop it off to him for the lay-in. 42-41, 19:08 remaining, all to play for here between these two Appalachian Athletic Conference foes, coming in at 8th in the conference Union, 9th in the conference Bryan, separated just by a game and a half in the standings. Sacco tries to get going down low. He had a good first half, unable to convert that little jump hook. Lions are going to get us back underway. Torres on the wing, looking for JTJ. He's going to drive, kicks with the right, out to Breadwood. Breadwood gets the defender in the air. Somehow Ty Gibbs comes up with it. Back to Breadwood. Breadwood, corner three, knocks it down. Isaiah Breadwood with a bang in the corner. 44-42. Great job, Ty Gibbs, to keep the play alive after the Union defense tipped the basketball. That's going to give the Lions their first lead of the second half. Jabari Covington with the ball, kicks to Rufus. Rufus going to find down low. That's Caleb Hedgepeth. Hedgepeth, good turn. Tries the reverse lay-in, and I thought it was going to be an easy bucket for him, but he could not get the roll off the rim. Lions going to try to push it to a two-possession advantage. Good job, Jerry Taylor Jr. with a left, with a scoop and score. Great job, Jerry Taylor. JTJ doing business in the paint, 46-42. Lions and Coach Jason Latch executing a game plan here to start the second half. Tough pull-up, Jay, knocked down Jabari Covington. Good answer, Union, 46-44, Lions lead. If you're back with us, if you could just give us something in the chat to make sure that you guys can hear and see us back on this new stream. Tough jumper there, not converted by Breadwood. Rebound to the Bulldogs. Jabari Covington kicks it down to Sacco. We're going to get a foul on the Lions. Union basketball underneath the basket, looking for Sacco on the inside. They're going to have to settle to kick it out. Ball's bouncing around. Ty Gibbs had a fingertip on it, unable to get it. Good defense. Breadwood's going to push the envelope back, going down the floor. Hayden Moten, big three, top of the key. Can he knock it down just a bit far? That would have been a big momentum shift. Tough take, unable to convert was Covington. Ball's going to bounce out of play, going to remain Union basketball. 21 seconds on the shot clock. Drew Rhodes kicks out inside to Sacco. Good pass, Sacco looking for Covington. Covington out to Rhodes from the three-point arc, knocks it down. 47-46. Ball bouncing around. Finds Drew Rhodes again for three. Can he knock it down? No, he can't. Ball bounces to Sacco. Sacco going to finish with a left hand and with a little flex underneath. Big-time bucket from the Canadian post players. 3-point advantage to the Bulldogs. Back and forth in Summers Gymnasium. Can the Lions answer? Breadwood looks inside. Sacco stepped across, going to foul his man working through the back of Jerry Taylor Jr., and it really was I think it feels a little bit hard done by the foul, but he did work through the body of JTJ to try to get that basketball. Both teams have a foul apiece here in the second half. 15:41 remaining. Lions trail by 3, 49-46. Good job by Breadwood to avoid the trap. Threw it off of a defender. Cole Torres is going to need some help. Going to go back. Just the deep lob back court to Ty Gibbs. To Moten. Moten inside to JTJ. Couple offensive cuts. Rhodes comes to help on defense. Out to Breadwood. Same spot he made it in the earlier. Kicks inside to Jerry Taylor Jr. Blocks, but he gets his rebound. Works through the foul. No whistle as Jerry Taylor kind of clutching his head there. He took a forearm across the temple and finishes anyway. 49-48 in what has turned into a great ball game and a little bit of a chippy contest. We had some action going in at halftime, just some jawing between both teams. It's made it a little bit more interesting as we go down the stretch in the final 15 minutes of the ball game. 1-point lead for the Bulldogs. Lions trying to take advantage. JTJ, good fake on Sacco. Can he turn, hit him with a hook? It's going to draw the foul, and that's going to put Jerry Taylor Jr. on the line to try to tie the ball game up and take the lead. Breadwood and Jerry Taylor Jr., 12 apiece. We're going to have a media timeout before the free throws. 14:45 remaining here in the second half. 49-48. Union leads by 1. We will be right back on Lions Live. We had a slight stoppage in play, trying to figure out the reason for the stoppage in play, but Jerry Taylor Jr. is going to miss that free throw. Lions still trail by 1. He's going to have a second chance here to tie up the ball game. 14:45 left in this second half. And he doesn't get the roll. Ball bounces around. Hayden Moten gets it, and he kicks it to Jerry Taylor Jr., but the shot was blocked. I don't think Jerry could get a handle on it. But the Lions are going to keep the ball. Ty Gibbs underneath is going to do the inbound. Out to Moten. Moten looking for a teammate. He's got trapped. Good job to find Cole Torres. Cole Torres fakes the pass. Deep three. Cole Torres knocks it down. 51-49. Colt Torres needs to get hot from behind the arc. That would be a welcome sight for the Lions, as we know he can get hot from there, but struggled to find his form throughout the year consistently. And there he is again, Colt Torres. Could this be a Colt Torres legacy game? We're hoping so. Up to Regale Moore. Moore to Breadwood. Breadwood with a screen from Gibbs. Out to Gibbs. Gibbs thought about the three. He's going to put it on the floor. Finds Breadwood. Breadwood, pump fake, 12 on the clock. Out to Torres. Torres thought about the three ball on the half turn. Going to clear it out. Pull up, jumper, no good. Rebound, Drew Rhodes. Covington pushing the tempo for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs trail by 2. Back to Covington. Covington to Devin Dunn. Dunn across to Rhodes. Rhodes has been good from behind the arc today. Looks like he may be the best, or the hottest hand at least, from the three-point line. Looks for the pick and roll. He's going to find it through Jamarion Gaines. Gaines, tough jumper, can't get it. Colt Torres gets the board. Back in motion. Regale Moore drops to Breadwood. Breadwood tried to get a screen. It was a turnover, and Rhodes grabbed it, and Hayden Moten stepped into the passing lane, and he gets the assist from Drew Rhodes on the lay-in, 53-49. I believe we were off air earlier when I was shouting out the Moten family. Some of our most devoted watchers. We enjoy seeing your comments, and we enjoy watching Hayden play. Brings a ton of energy as we see a miscommunication there by Torres, as he thought he had somebody there to grab the ball, and he left his feet, didn't have anybody to pass to, threw it right to a Union defender. 53-51, Lions lead by 2. Great pass to Ray Moore. Good job by Torres to find the cut of Ray Moore. Pass had to be inch perfect, and it was. 55-51, Lions still lead by 4. Something I spoke with Coach Latch at length this week is the Lions are in a lot of top ball games. They have got to find ways to finish. I feel like they've almost been in every single game is the same. It's a lot of back and forth, and they've just got to be able to make sure that they're putting their best foot forward down the stretch. Turnovers have killed us in the back last 5-10 minutes of ball games, hoping that the Lions are going to clean it up on the turnover part of the ball game as we enter in the last 12 minutes of this game. Gaines to the free throw line to shoot. Gaines only a 54% free throw shooter. Gaines going to miss both. Great rebound done. Somehow he brings it down and lays it in. 55-53. Regale Moore struggling to get the ball in. Good pressure. Ball all the way up to Gibbs. Can Gibbs finish? Yes, he can. Good job breaking the press. And it was a triple team at one point on Torres, so you knew that there were at least a couple red jerseys with nobody on them, finding Ty Gibbs underneath the basket to restore the 4-point lead. Ball inside to Dunn, and he is going to be fouled. And the fans in our area absolutely hate that call. Looked like it could have been just a loose ball in the paint. And we're going to get a timeout from Coach Rodney Haddix. 11:33 left in the ball game. Lions lead by 4, 57-53. We'll be right back on Lions Live. Welcome back into the broadcast. 11:33 left in the ball game. Union inbounds. Kenton Wright finds Devin Dunn. There's going to be I don't know if it was a foul or maybe it was just poked out of bounds. I don't think it was a foul call. Kenton Wright going to redo the inbound straight into Jamarion Gaines. Gaines picks his dribble up, looks for and finds Devin Dunn. Dunn with a crossover. Drake providing the defense. What a finish, Devin Dunn through the contact. And a great lob to get the ball in. And I thought we were going to get as the lob for Cal Drake. No foul call. Thought we might have had a grab on Drake, but they're not going to whistle it. Lions lead by 2, 11-10 remaining in this contest. What seems to be another back-and-forth game between the Lions and the Bulldogs. Lions bested the Bulldogs earlier in the first semester back in the fall in Barberville in a game that the Bulldogs led the entirety of the game, and then they came back and finished it at the end kind of out of nowhere. And they three-ball missed by Kenton Wright. Rebound. Well, there was a foul before the rebound that's going to keep the Bulldogs with the basketball. Kenton Wright back on it looking for anybody. Finds Dunn again. Dunn back to Wright. Ball bounces around into the hands of Wright. Had a chance for a trap in the corner, but he did a good job to get out of there. Resets it. 10 on the shot clock. Devin Dunn in the corner. Misses it. Regale Moore with the rebound. 5 on 4 as there was a Bulldog on the floor. It's going to be turned over. Devin Dunn grabs it. He's going to try to take it coast to coast. Yes! And there was a foul, yes! And I believe we may have had – we got a technical call on Devin Dunn, and I believe his second technical, and he is going to be ejected from the game. Hey, you're – it was a layup there by Dunn, and he was fouled, and it was nothing in the foul. Looked like it was Derek Curtis. After the foul was whistled, there was a shove from Dunn in the back of Curtis, and we saw the instant tee and then ejection because it was the second tee. You missed in the first half. There were a couple technicals at one point on both teams. And so the offsetting technicals, one of those was on Dunn. I believe the other was on Breadwood. And so we're going to see the shove from Dunn, which is going to result in a technical and his ejection from the contest. 10:25 remaining here in the second half, 57-55, and we have so it's got a little bit chippy. We mentioned that while it was going on, and there has been I think they're taking the player to the to his locker room, so it got a little bit chippy. He's chirping with some fans, but nothing crazy. Student section obviously loves any kind of ejection. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Lions Live. So back into the contest, number 13, Jamarion Gaines, is going to be the one taking the shot, the free throw shot. He misses the first one. Misses the second free throw, does Jamarion Gaines. Lions basketball. Good take, Ty Gibbs in and out. That would have been a tough shot if that one would have failed. Back to Union basketball. Good pass, finds number 1, Kenton Wright. Wright looking inside for Gaines. Gaines is going to draw the foul. Good job by him to get underneath in between the two Bryan defenders. Gaines is going to go to the line to shoot 2. Still a 57-55 lead. Knocks down the first. Does Gaines. That's going to put it to a 1-point contest. And he's going to knock down both. 57 all, knotted up, all to play for. 9:50 remaining here. Coach Rodney Haddock's going to send the pressure against the Lions. Gibbs does a good job to break the press. Can he take it? He's going to kick to Ray Moore. Can Ray Moore knock it down? No. Looks out. Derek Curtis, deep three. Doesn't get it to fall, and it was a good look. But unable to convert. That's going to send us to another timeout. 57-57, 9:36 remaining. We'll be right back on Lions Live. Welcome back into Lions Live. 9:30 left, 57-57. In a riveting contest between the Bulldogs and the Lions. Dallas Rufus checked back into the ball game. With that three-headed scoring attack between Covington, Rufus, and Hedgepeth. Rufus tries to take with the left. Tough finish. Rims out. Ty Gibbs back with the basketball. Derek Curtis to Gibbs. Working on Rufus. Back to Gibbs. 15 on the shot clock. Plenty of time here if he can resettle. As Gibbs going to try to cross over. Kicks out to Torres. Torres with 6 on the shot clock. Crossover. Tough jumper. Not going to go. Good defensive possession there for the Bulldogs. And it's going to be a finish by Kenton Wright at the other end. 59-57. Bulldogs take the lead. Regale Moore, good job to fight through the trap. Ty Gibbs thought about the three. Ball was poked out by number 0, Cam Connor. And Gibbs is going to draw the foul on number 24, Julian Bunton. Going to send Ty Gibbs to the line. Ty Gibbs really growing into his own in his freshman year in a line uniform as he knocks down that first one. Been complimentary of Ty Gibbs all year, not just as a basketball player, but as a young man. Always has a smile on his face and has really done a good job at stepping into a role that was probably bigger than what he thought when he got on campus. Ty Gibbs knocks down both free throws and checks out of the game for Hayden Moten. But Ty Gibbs is a freshman coming in, probably not expecting the role he has received, and that's been earned through hard work. 59 all. Jerry Taylor Jr. trotting down to the table to check back into this contest. Good turnover there forced by the Lions. Up to Derek Curtis. Derek Curtis with a left hand. And he finishes 61-59. Lions back in the lead, and here we go again. $61 all. Back and forth we go. Cole Torres with the basketball. 7:30 left. Can he take that to the rack? He can. Finishes with the left. Good little feint in the middle of the lane. Lions lead by 2 again. Jim has probably had the smallest collective crowd of the year, at least of this half, but they are getting really loud in here tonight. Deep three by number 24, Bunton. He misses it. Rebound to Breadwood, 63-61. Ball back and forth between Lions players. Back to Curtis in the corner. 8 on the clock. Going to have to create a shot or create some space. Curtis tries to drive. Can he get to the lane? He can't. Cal Drake with the offensive board, and he's going to set it back up. 6:25 remaining. Lions lead by 2. $5:48 remaining. Lions still lead by 2. Isaiah Breadwood, Derek Curtis, Hayden Moten, JTJ, and Cole Torres. On the court for the Lions. Good finish, Jerry Taylor Jr. 4-point lead to the Lions. Lions playing good basketball, and Coach Rodney Haddix is going to send in his big post player, Ali Sacco, to try to slow down Jerry Taylor Jr. Summers Gymnasium's letting the Bulldogs hear their voice now. 4-point lead to the Lions. Drew Rogers in the corner for 3. What a shot, Drew Rogers. Knocks it down. 1-point lead. That was a heck of a shot, Drew Rogers, and props to him. He has been very good from behind the arc. That's a great pass and was going to be a goaltend, but it dropped in anyway. Derek Curtis with the finish at the rim. That's going to send us back to a 3-point lead. 67-64, Lions lead. We'll be right back on Lions Live after this timeout. Welcome back in. 67-64 Lions lead. And you have got to try to keep Drew Rhodes, number 21 for Union, from getting an open look from behind the perimeter. He has been really good from out there as he's kind of trickled down in that corner. They're going to run. He's going to run through a couple screens. They're going to get him the ball. Torres good to stay on him. Inside to Bunton. Bunton has Rhodes in the corner, and he's wanting the ball. Nobody got it to him. They're going to go to the other corner. Ball's going to roll up and in. Good shot, Jabari Covington. That ties the ball game, 67 all. Coach Jason Latch signaling in the play call. Derek Curtis thought about the three, out to Torres. Torres trying to get the clear out. Is going to instead get to Breadwood. Breadwood with the basketball. Back for Torres, 10 on the shot clock. Swings it wide to Moten. Moten puts it on the floor, looking for Torres. Reverse lay-in. What a job. Cole Torres, Hayden Moten combo for the reverse. 69-67, 3:40 remaining. Once again, the gym gets loud. Covington thought about a deep three, drops it off, gets the ball back to Bunton, across to Rhodes. Rhodes to Rufus. Rufus back to Rhodes. You got to close him down. Did he knock it down again? Yes, he did. Drew Rhodes with another shot. Bulldogs back up by 1. Can't say enough about Drew Rhodes in this contest. 4 from 8 from behind the arc. He leads all scorers with 14. Torres tried to draw the foul, unable to get it. 3-on-2 for Union. Ball up to Covington, and a great job by Breadwood to get his hand to that one because that was destined for a 2-point layup. And Breadwood did a great job to fight through it to poke it out of play. 1-point contest. Drew Rhodes in the corner again. Heat check. Great rebound, Ty Gibbs, and I don't blame Rhodes at all for pulling from there. He has been the dangerman from behind three-point line today. Lions trail by 1. Gibbs looks inside for Torres. Back to Gibbs. Gibbs pulls top of the key for 3. Doesn't catch anything. I was gathering my breath. I'd have been screaming in your TV sets after that one if it would have went in. Line still down by 1, 70-69, 2:30 remaining in the contest. We have been subjected to a lot of good basketball games, back and forth games here at Bryan College through the start of this year, especially on the men's side. Can they pull this one out down the stretch? We faltered a bit at times. Can they do it tonight and come up with a tough win? And that thought it could have been a jump ball, but Dallas Rufus, the leading scorer on the year for the Bulldogs, is going to draw that foul and go to the line to shoot 2. Rufus is a 80% free throw shooter, great free throw shooter. He's going to try to make it a 3-point ball game. And he misses the first. He can't believe it as he turns around in disbelief. That ball was everything but through the net and bounces back out. So Lions are going to catch a break after fouling what is the best free throw shooter on Union's team. He makes no mistake about the second. 71-69, Lions need a bucket to try to tie the ball game up here. Derek Curtis to Jerry Taylor Jr. working on Sacco. It's going to be Breadwood. Breadwood thought about the 3, but no, decides to roll back out to Curtis. 17 on the shot clock. Over to Torres. Looking inside for Jerry Taylor Jr. Working on Sacco. 9 on the clock. He gets the pass into Breadwood, and he just loses the handle. My goodness, what a pass. Jerry Taylor Jr. and the Bulldogs breathe a sigh of relief because it just tipped off the hands of number 1, Isaiah Breadwood, and that would have tied the ball game. 141. Lions need a stop on defense. Jabari Covington with the ball. Ty Gibbs doing the defending. Going to get a high screen from Bunton. Good switch by the Lions into Rufus. Jerry Taylor Jr. doing the work. Out to Rogers. Covington tries to drive, and he finishes through contact. What a finish. Jabari Covington. 4-point lead to the Bulldogs, 73-69, 1:10 left. And there's going to be a timeout by Coach Jason Latch, and he's going to have to draw up his best play of the year because the Lions need a bucket. 4 points, 4-point lead for the Bulldogs, 73-69. We'll be right back with the last 1:11 of this ball game on Lions Live. Ball back in play. Lions need a three. Can they get it? Cole Torres in the corner. He knocks it down. Cole Torres, 73-72. And the Lions needed that one as bad as they've needed a bucket all year. And Cole Torres provides, and the gym has found its voice. Nobody in the student section is sitting down. 47 seconds. Lions trail by one. Covington's going to try a deep three. No pump fake. Back inside to Bunton. Bunton working on Jerry Taylor Jr. Tough finish with a left. 75-72. Lions trail by three. Can they get another big bucket here? There are 2 timeouts left. Gibbs across to Curtis. Curtis, Jerry Taylor Jr. Out to Torres. Torres tries to work. Out to JTJ. 15 on the shot clock. Curtis again. Reset. Rufus does the defending. Curtis crossover. Can he drive? Out to Gibbs in the corner. Gibbs for three. Can't get it to fall. Rebound Sacco. And that's going to be a foul on Drew Rhodes. And Rhodes is going to go to the line to shoot free throws. And that just feels like another gut punch down the stretch. 11.7 remaining. Got the look they wanted. Ty Gibbs in the corner. And out of the hand, I thought it was going to go. But it's going to turn in to a Drew Rhodes free throw, and he is a 73% free throw shooter, 74% free throw shooter on the year. And he is going to the line here to try to ice this game for the Bulldogs. A huge breath out of him as he composes himself with a dribble and a spin. Can he knock it down? He does. And Rhodes has made some big shots for the Bulldogs as he flexes both arms. He's fired up. That's going to make this a 4-point game. Have to think if this is a make, we're going to get a timeout, and he's going to miss it. And we are going to get the timeout. 4-point contest, 76-72, 11 seconds remaining. Lions got a chance, but they're going to have to knock down a quick bucket out of this timeout. We'll be right back on Lions Live. Welcome back in. 11.2 remaining. Lions are going to need a bucket in a bad way. Into Torres, 9 on the clock. He's going to have to pull a tough three. Can he do it? And he's fouled. No, he wasn't fouled, but he's going to airball that one, and that's going to be the end of the contest. 1.8 remaining, but the 4-point lead for the Union Bulldogs as Jabari Covington's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And once again, just a bit of a gut punch here in the booth. 1.8 remaining. Probably mathematically impossible at this point. 76-72. Covington knocks down that free throw. 77-72, and it's a formality at this point. 1.8 remaining. And, man, it feels like the Lions have just struggled to get over that hump in these games. He misses that. Rebound to Jerry Taylor Jr. He's going to heave it and not going to go. So the final score from Summers Gymnasium between the Union Bulldogs and the Bryan College Lions, 77-72. Bulldogs come in and win to salvage the back end of the doubleheader as the ladies won in game 1. For Clint McCauley, Jessica Day, Jeremy Deal, this has been Jordan Day on the call for Lions Live. We will see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Lions fall 77-72.